What's up guys, in today's video we have a very short, very direct beginner's tutorial where I'm going to show you everything you need to know, all the basics for hard surface modeling inside of Blender. I'm going to teach you booleans, bevels, how to access all the menus, all the settings, even if you're a complete beginner, so let's hop right into it. Before we get started, if you're brand new to hard surface modeling and want to learn our entire workflow in under 2 weeks, like thousands of students have done at this point, then check out our hard surface accelerator program in the link in the top of the description. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cube right here and we're going to press S and then Z to scale it on the Z axis, okay? So very basic operation right there. Now the next thing I want to do here is I just want to go into side view. Now in Blender there's two different ways to go into side view. You can either press the little tilde key on your keyboard and you can go left, right, top, bottom, very simple. That one's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to press 1 on the number pad or 3 on the number pad, or 7 for top view, 9 for bottom view. Usually you're going to press 7 for top, 1 for side, 3 for front. Very simple. Alright, so before we add any booleans, let's make this shape look a little bit more interesting, more visually appealing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into edge mode, so tab, edge, and I want to bevel all of the edges right here on the object. So there's a few different ways to select these. You can shift click on the edges with the shift button. Or if you have edges in the same direction that are the same size, you can press Control Alt and then left click. That's going to select all the edges in the same direction. And then we're just going to press Control B, move our mouse to the right, scroll up a little bit, just like that. And then what I want to do is I just want to go into face mode. So we'll press Tab, we'll go into face mode here, and then we're just going to move this face right here up a little bit higher. Now you might be curious why when I press the tab key on the keyboard I'm getting these settings right here, whereas for you when you press tab it might just go up here and change these manually. This is a plugin called Machine Tools. This is the first plugin. I don't care if you're a beginner or never used Blender before, you should get this tool immediately. It used to be free. It's now $5. It is the best $5 you will spend because it allows you to go in and out of object and edit mode into vertex mode, edge mode, face mode very, very quickly. Now you might not be used to it if you're a beginner because you haven't used the tool before, but as you start pressing tab and just getting fluent with it, it's going to save you so much time. So that tool will be linked in the description. I'm not getting any affiliate commission for it. I don't make money on a $5 tool. It's just a tool I use personally to quickly get in and out of edit mode. So pick that up. It's going to save you a lot of clicks over time. And basically what we can do is we can go in here, tab into face mode. And I'm just going to take this face right here. I'm going to press I to inset. We're going to press G and then Z just to move this face up a little bit. And the only reason I'm doing that is just to create a basic, interesting looking shape. And then what I want to do from here is tab back into object mode, which I'm in, right click to shade auto smooth. That's going to basically clean that up a little bit. And you're going to see it kind of messed up this edge right here. Notice we have a sharp edge here, but we don't have a sharp edge over here. The reason for that is the auto smooth might need to be changed because this angle between these two faces, this angle right here, might be outside of this 30-degree threshold. So all you really need to do is go in here and just kind of mess with this. You can just drop this value down and there you go. And then the last thing I want to do is tab back into face mode, scale this in just a little bit more. I might even move this back a little bit on the y-axis just to kind of create that shape. And then I'm going to go to the bottom face here and just add in a chamfer. Now you're going to see right now the bevel is kind of flat. You can kind of see that. So what we need to do in this case is tab into object mode and make sure our scale is applied here. If I go into the end panel, you're going to see our scale on the Z is not applied. So it's going to be biased in one direction on the bevel. So I'm just going to press Control A to apply the scale. And if we tab into face mode now, you're going to see it bevels evenly in both directions. And then we can just click to add in that bevel, and there we go. And if you're completely new, by the way, this is called a chamfer, which is a single segment bevel. And something like this with a lot of segments would be called a fillet. I just call them all bevels. They're all bevels, so it doesn't really matter. The context kind of shows itself. Now what I want to do is I want to go to this top face here, Control B, and then just scroll up on my mouse wheel to add in some more segments. I can also do the same thing right here. I can Alt click on these edges here and then Control B to bevel, just like that. And then again, shade auto smooth. We might need to, okay, that's good by default. And now we kind of have this shape right here. Now in general, whenever I'm beveling, for like larger bevels, I do this with the Control B command. For smaller bevels, I usually use the bevel modifier. Now in this case, I'm not going to get too in depth. This is meant to be a more beginner's tutorial. So let's just continue. I don't think I'm going to actually add a bevel here. I think it looks better without the bevel, just kind of having that sharp edge contrast. I think it looks better personally, but you can kind of make this however you want. Now at this point, what I want to do is I want to introduce some booleans to this object and show you kind of how to use these properly. Now there's two different ways to add in booleans here in terms of like physically adding the boolean. You can do this with actual objects in Blender or using tools like Box Cutter. So the first way is we're going to press Shift A, we're going to go to Mesh, and then we're going to go to Cube. And I'm just going to place this cube right over here and then scale this a bit on the X so that way it's not glitching right there, just like that. And also you don't need the cube to be so large. You can just kind of scale that down and then scale this with S and then X like that. And then we're just going to kind of position this right here. And then what I want to do is I want to tab into edge mode. So tab, we'll go to edge. We're going to take this edge right here. We're going to move that back. And then all we need to do is add in a Boolean modifier. So the slow way to add in a Boolean is to go to the main object, add modifier, generate Boolean. And I say the slow way because you have to select the Boolean and then you have to go here and pick your Boolean object. And then what you have to do is you have to take the Boolean object, go here, go to viewport display, go to this button and then go to wire so you can see the actual Boolean. And then anytime you want to make, like an adjustment, you have to go back. It's annoying. It's a long process. But that's one way to do it. That's the vanilla way, the default way in Blender. Not to mention, if you want to add more complex Boolean operations like slices or insets or outsets, this requires two Booleans that you have to set up. So a slice operation is basically where you add a slice to the object. And if you want to add that in using a Boolean operation, there's no specific button for it. And let me show you so you have some context here. Usually what I have to do to add a slice is after I add in what's called a difference Boolean, which is cutting, then I need to duplicate the main shape with Shift D, and then I need to right click, and then I need to change on the duplicate over to intersect. So that way we actually have this effect right here. And basically what's happening is we have one object, I can hide this one, we have one object with a difference Boolean, and then we have another object with an intersection Boolean. And an intersection Boolean takes the similar area, I'll put a diagram, a similar area between two objects. So that's what intersect does, it's different from difference. Just to kind of show you that a bit more visually, if I add in a cube here, and then I add in another one here, there's going to be an area right here, this little area that's overlapping. Think of a Venn diagram, right? So basically if I go in, generate Boolean, choose this one, and then choose intersect, what this has done is it has basically taken the shared space. That's all I'm doing here, but I'm combining it with a difference Boolean so that way I can add a slice. It's a headache, it's confusing, it takes way too many clicks, and when you're doing more advanced projects, you don't want to be doing this all the time. So instead what I do, I personally use hard ops. You can also go in here to preferences and you can go to get extensions and type in BOOL for bool tool, click on install, and then make sure it's turned on in here. And basically you won't even have to do any of this. You can, let me just undo all these operations real quick. Whether you're using hard ops or bool tool, doesn't really matter. If you shift click, select the cutter, and then shift click on the main object, you can press Control minus on the number pad. If you want to add a slice, you can press Control / on the number pad. If you want to add in an intersection, Control star on the number pad. See that? If you want to add in a union, which is going to join them together, Control + on the number pad. You get the idea. And it does this all automatically for you. I don't have to add in these booleans manually. It's already done. You can see Control / we have our intersection boolean here and our difference boolean right here. So I think you get the idea. If you don't have a number pad, you can press Control Shift Tab and make sure both these are selected. And then there should be an option here. I have a different setting turned on, but that'll allow you to add it in without a number pad. For me, the number pad's a lot quicker. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in that slice operation now that you know what's actually happening, and then I can just go ahead and hide this cutter. Now, I'm personally, like I said, I'm using the hard ops add-on, and with hard ops, it adds in a separate collection called cutters automatically. You might not have this. You might just have this object right here just in your collections, right? Just in the main collection. So what I would like to do in this case is right click to add a new collection. Just double click. You can call this cutters. And then you can basically take your cutter object, move it in there, and then just hide it. So that way you have a separate collection to quickly access those cutters if you need them. I'm not going to get too deep into the hard ops tool in this video. I have literally hundreds of videos on my channel showing you how to use that. We also have a full training program for it, which will help you learn it quicker. So I'm not going to get too deep into that for the purposes of this video. So now that we kind of have this slice operation right here, we can basically just hide it with the H key. And now what we have is a very basic shape, a very basic hard surface model using very basic operations. So now what I want to do is I want to go in here and add in a bevel, okay? So I'm going to add a bevel modifier. So we're going to go to generate bevel. I'm going to set the segment count here to 3 segments. I'm going to hold shift and just drop that amount. So it's a very small bevel. And just to avoid this weird lines right here, what we can do is we can go to shading. We can click on harden normals. Make sure we have shade auto smooth. And there we go. And one other thing you might want to do is change the bevel miter type. If we go here to geometry, miter outer should be set to arc by default. This is going to give you a better result. And then we can go over here to this one, generate bevel. You can also copy this bevel. You can go here to, I think you can copy, actually no, you can only copy it in the main one if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, let's go in here, generate bevel. 3 segments is fine. Hold shift, just kind of drop that. And then what we can do is we can go to harden normals, right click to shade auto smooth, then change the outer miter type over to arc. And now we have a really clean bevel, which is going to show us that nice separation. Now, if you want a little bit of a better viewport display, something that kind of highlights the edges, kind of like I have here, all you need to do is go up here to this menu, go to cavity, set this to both, and then just copy my settings right here. I have them all set to 1. You can also go here to matte cap and use a matte cap if you want. Sometimes these look a bit more interesting to look at, especially when you're modeling. So you can kind of go through here, check out some of these different matte caps, and just find one that you like. I think this one here, maybe even this one here, is pretty cool. Even this one's okay, but you kind of get the idea now. So now what we have is a very basic shape with some bevels, with some booleans, and this is just a very basic model that anybody can create. Now, in terms of the bevel, it's a little bit tricky because sometimes you might have different booleans in different locations. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I went in here and I added in another boolean. Maybe I added in a small cut right here on the top. So I shift click on this one, I run my boolean operation. Let me just do this the vanilla way to show you something. I'm going to go to boolean, I'm going to choose this as the boolean, and I'm just going to hide it. Now in this case, I added in this boolean, but notice it doesn't have the bevel. That's because by default in Blender, the modifiers here get added in the order you added them. So obviously I have the boolean. Let me turn these off. First I have this boolean for the slice, and then I have a bevel, and then I have this other boolean right here. Now basically what happened is this bevel right here already terminated because this one is above this one. That means this bevel is done, it's finished, it has already done its job, and anything after this bevel will not be affected. So a very easy way to fix that, if you want this to also have a bevel, is to drag this above. So now we have both booleans, and then once those two booleans have finished, then it actually adds in that bevel to everything. So modifier stack, modifier order is very, very important. And once again, if you're using HardOps, which is a plugin, this does this automatically. So if I were to go in here and add in a boolean right there, it's just going to automatically sort that for me, right? It's going to automatically move that boolean above the bevel by default. So let's just do this one more time, then we can kind of wrap up the video here. I think you got the basics down. I'm just going to add in a cube and to kind of scale that down. We're going to add in a small detail right here and just slightly move that up, and then maybe slightly scale that. And I can just kind of, position that wherever I want it. And there we go. Now we have a boolean over here and just a very, very basic shape that we can build on top of. So that's basically it. That is your first hard surface model. As a complete beginner, it doesn't take anything complex. It's a few simple steps that if used correctly, if you know how to use your booleans, if you know how to use your bevels, if you know how to access the menus and do all the basic stuff, you can make your own models as soon as today, very, very quickly. You won't know everything, but you'll know enough and you'll be able to make stuff in just a couple of hours. So there you go. That is your first model. Hopefully everything was explained clearly, and hopefully you understand how everything works. And again, guys, if you want to learn our entire hard surface modeling workflow, everything in under 2 weeks with about 30 to 60 minutes a day, check out our accelerator program in the link in the top of the description. This is the #1 training program for hard surface modeling. Thousands and thousands of students have went through this and gotten very, very quick results in a very short period of time. So we can get those for you as well. Just go to the link in the top of the description, check out the course. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.